Wahiwala and our sponsor Salam Radio. We're just waiting for our guest to turn up and just switching on. Welcome to episode 73. Today you're in for a treat again. We have not only anybody but the Apache Indian.
Wahiwala.
I'm just waiting for him to turn up. That's us going live. I'm just waiting for him to turn up online. And we will be working straight away. So if you've just tuned into this kind of a radio station for us here in the UK, we are based, as you'd appreciate, in the UK, Little Peterborough. We will be, give me a second, just waiting. It is every Tuesday, every week from here onwards. This is the first one of the brand new week ahead. This is new. If you give me a second, I think we're having this connection. There we are. So this is New Year, Happy New Year. This is 2021 team, and we are live now this evening with Apache Indian himself. I'll be really grateful. There we have it. So this evening, this is the Empower Hours show. This is a Peterborough-based Salam Radio show, and we have the one and only Apache Indian with us this evening. He is an individual who has, forget about the awards he's won, forget about the fact that he's just recently been awarded by the Queen as a BEM and a Queen's Award. This man personally has been an individual that we've all looked up to from the 90s through to the 80s, 90s and noughties onwards. This man challenged the status quo with an example of things such as arranged marriage, Don Raj, and obviously things such as Chuck there. He was the first man to be recognized by the international market and given a contract from the Asian community here in Peterborough, in the UK, with Island Records. He entered the charts. He was unbelievably an individual who represented not just one nation, but three nations: the British nation, the British Asian nations, and also the British Black community, by understanding languages all integrated. I'm not going to take much more time. I just want to introduce this man who is, for me, is a sincere individual who has just shown by winning the award how much of a humanitarian he truly is. This is the one and only Apache Indian. Welcome, Apache, to our show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What a fantastic intro, and makes me nervous. Great to be with you. Great to be on your show. Overdue. Everyone that's listening, sorry about all the technical issues, but we're here and I'm waiting to speak to you and share some of my life with you. So thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome very much. So just for anybody else who doesn't know, Apache, he changed the music industry, the Indian Asian music industry. And then later in that same decade, in the 90s, I'm talking about, very early 90s, he came into the marketplace, which gave us all an attachment to his ability to create lyrics, his rhyme, his rhythm, his unbelievable character as an individual. Arranged marriage, he tackled such complicated situations where arranged marriage was crossed over with things such as forced marriage, which is by no means something that we actually back. Arranged marriages when an introductions are happened on behalf of somebody. But he took that concept of Asian, Indian, Pakistani backgrounds of any nation. And if you go back to the Victorian times in UK as well, where everything was arranged, as were our, if you go back to Prince Charles and Lady Diana, that was an arranged marriage as well, and most of the others. So the question was, he took a taboo topic and in a social environment and actually challenged it, but with a humility and a level of interaction in language by mixing three languages in such a way that it just became so natural. It was the street language. Arranged marriage was just unbelievable. So for me, it's been a lifelong 5 years to try and get him on, 6 years actually to get him on the show. It's been that long. He's that sought after.
Apologies.
No apologies needed. We understand as an organization, as an audience, the Salam Radio crew, the inspired tribe who follow us in every single hemisphere of the world. We have people tuning in from all over the world. I mean, the globe, from Australia through to Africa's and Canada's. I'm going to share, your real name is obviously Steve Vijay Kumar, but for tonight, is it okay if we just address you as Apache? Is that right?
Yeah, let me just correct that, Stephen VJ Kapoor.
Kapoor, I do apologize. Yes.
With a KAPUR, but yeah.
I do apologize. Yes.
All
So,
good,
yes. Is that okay? We'll call you Apache for tonight?
Apache is good, yeah.
Perfect. So, Apache, I'm going to ask you simple questions. You have your humble roots in Birmingham. Now,
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about that, if I may. What was your childhood like? Where did you grow up? School? That kind of thing.
Yeah, very simple. I mean, very, very simple traditional family, just like how you probably would imagine it. My parents were born in Punjab, Jalandhar city. They came over to the UK probably 50s. I was born in 67. Handsworth, Holly Road, if anyone knows Handsworth, very, very multicultural town, known for all, for diversity and everything that you know. If you don't know about Birmingham, you have groups like UB40, Steel Pulse. You have groups like Musical Youth Pastor, Dutchy, and all that was
on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and you had all the Bhangra was there, Market Singh, and DCS, and that's a great live scene. So that was later on. But when my parents came over, my mother was a machinist. She went straight to work, and my father worked in a factory, steel works. And school started at 5. So I was dropped off at the nanny next door while they went to work.
So that's age 5, isn't it? Yes. Yeah.
Up to age 5. So from 1 to 5, I was dropped off at the nanny next door, who was Miss Codrington from Jamaica. So there you go, early influences, 5 years of language, culture, food, whatever it may be. So it wasn't about reggae later on. It was about an understanding of a culture before understanding of a music. I don't think I probably would have been involved with the music that much, because people have to understand it's not just gimmicky. It's a different language, patois. So I learned it at 5. And then from there, obviously 8 hours later, for 5 years, 8 hours a day. And then I'm taken back home to the Hindi, to the Punjabi, to the Bollywood movies, so there you go. So, the music that you talk about music, it was just a reflection of all that. It was a reflection of that it was already in my head. And I'm in the UK, so British factors, subconscious in your head, language start. So straight away, before I got to 5, there was 3 languages. There was the British language.
I just want to just interject there a little bit, if I can.
Yeah.
Well, Apache, so that means basically, when you utilize, a lot of the people of the era that we grew up in the 90s, and I thought that, well, I was listening, because I was in the music industry as well. We used to sell audio, and we used to be the Eastern, the Wahiwala and Co brand. We used to be the Eastern distributor of most music. So whether it's Moviebox, Oriental Star, right up the road from from the actual studio, and also Moviebox and many other people. Multitone. You remember all those names, and all these are all record label brands by the Roma Music, all great friends.
Oriental Star
OSA, yes, that's right. So all these individuals, there was a rumor at the time, which you've put right just now, that obviously this is a gentleman who wants to be black or something of that nature, but you've actually just very clearly explained that you were in essence nannied by your neighbor, which then gave you that ethic of the language and patois and communication since age of 5 for 8 hours a day. So you actually weren't just putting it on, you actually lived it, right?
Absolutely lived it. Very, very proud to live it. And obviously, even we talk about later on with problems between communities and different cultures, our parents didn't have a problem then, did they? Drop me off the Jamaican nanny next door. And, she raised lots of children and lovely, but, we didn't even think about it twice. So I was just without realizing, I'm soaking in this culture. Later on, people can ask questions. I'm here today, 30 years later. I'm 53 years old, 30 years in the music business. And I can answer any question about my life because it's always been just real. It's been a reflection of who I am, where I'm from. I think if I wasn't even in Birmingham, I probably would, if I was a musician, probably a different sound, but probably would not be. So this is unique to Birmingham. It's unique to my life. That's sound and language and style. But let's, you talk about arranged marriage. Let's talk about the things that my first album. They say that your first album is a sum up of all your life up to that point.
Yeah.
So on that first album, 1992, No Reservations, it wasn't just arranged marriage. There was a song called AIDS Warning. There was a song, drink problems. My thoughts, that's samajhne lagdi, why they drink too much and get sharab. Just whatever I may see in and out, whatever view I may have, whatever emotion, whatever prayers, whatever wishes. It's in that, this is what music's about. And I wanted to reflect that, and share that. And my name's Apache Indian from the
Yeah,
first song,
that's
because
right.
I'm Indian. I wanted to tell people I'm Indian. I'll be a part of the British culture. And I know you're going to question me later on about who I am, what times. I'll tell you from the beginning. My name is Apache Indian, and my first song was Movie Over India and Chak Der and Dana Raja. So this is a person who's embracing his culture. He's embracing his language. He's not actually trying to be anything else. He's trying to be himself. And he will use reggae because A, he grew up with it, the culture, and then he fell in love with the music. The music was second. A lot of people do reggae, but they never got the culture.
Yeah.
You know, when I go to Jamaica and I work with all the Jamaican artists, Reggae Sunsplashes, and all the collaborations I've done from Maxi Priest to Luciano, it's not about the song. They know that I understand the culture, the language, the mannerisms, the respect, you know, and every culture has different things. So unless today, and you don't have to wait for music to be raised by a nanny, you can go and find about different cultures in your community if you want to. And that's what music does, brings us together. That's what sport does. So it's important.
Yeah, can I touch on something a second? So it gave you every one of us, every individual person has the God-given right to express themselves and their journey and their world.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about here. You had an amalgamation pot, which actually to this day, in my opinion, you said very, very proudly, but very humbly as well, the fact that Birmingham, if it wasn't in Birmingham, it wouldn't have happened, because Birmingham is where where all this mixing pot was really gelling. And then I also understand from my upbringing in East Anglia area, that in Peterborough, that we didn't have those frictions that seem to have been created in this modern vibe of generational change. Now, your language, did you realize that your lyrics were, without a doubt, they were representing you. Without a doubt, in your first album, you challenged drink, alcoholism, arranged marriage, obviously. And then you also gave that generation an identity like Don Raja. You gave them so much validation. My question to yourself is that when you were writing these, I want to just probe a little bit about writing them. Were you actually thinking, I'm going to make something that's going to change the world? Or was it actually just something, a journey that you were taking internally and you thought, well, you know, I'm going to tell the truth and the world will either get it or they won't?
It was neither of those. It was just me wanting to make my first record out. I started off being a DJ, getting closer to that reggae that I love, bought records, made my own sound system. And I don't know whether people understand in sound systems, you can go make one record called a dub plate, just of just one song. And I thought, you know what, after all this love, let me just go in the studio and make one song. And that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it was Movie Over India. I went to make that song. It was for myself. It wasn't for release. And then people liked it, so later on I did release it. But going back was, why did I do it? I did it to find my own identity. Wow, you have to understand, you know, where did I belong as a British Asian? And I saw all these things that I didn't fit into the Bhangra. I didn't fit into I didn't even speak much of the Punjabi language. You know, I had this cross-cultural roots from Jamaica, from the Jamaican nanny and home. So I loved it all. I wanted to celebrate it all. But where do we fit in? And then looking at the TV, looking at the, you know, the British TV, Top of the Pops, we weren't there. There was no brown faces. And I didn't want to impact the market. I didn't really want to even go on, because I'm a private guy. I'm a simple guy. I just wanted to find my own identity, my own self through my music. And I did. So much so that when I made Movie Over India, and I included in my lyrics, Movie Over India, because every time I went home, there was a movie on from India. It's not rocket science, right? And it was on a reggae beat called the Shanghai Shades, which I love from Rex. So I put it together, put my language in there, and I thought, And you know what? My parents came to me because I didn't speak so much Punjabi. They were saying, "Oh, look, Sada Munda Punjabi bolda." You know,
I was trying to English.
I was trying to learn
yeah.
I was trying to learn the Punjabi myself in the song. Ik do tin that 1 2 3 and ura era edi that ABC. And then through that, I actually learned how to speak Punjabi after 5 years in. But I wasn't encouraged. I wanted to make it my own. A lot of people, they question the patois, but I was singing patois in 1989 because I learned it when I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when people try to put it on, it makes me cringe.
Yeah, because you're naturally speaking it.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. When I go to Jamaica, I'm going to speak in patois. If we flip it and say, my parents moved to France and I grew up learning French, everyone say, respect Apache. If you speak in patois, they say you're trying to be black. So we have to question ourselves. We have to question ourselves. I celebrated language. I celebrated music. I celebrated culture. I brought it together. I was proud of it. I found my identity. I had a record company, Jetstar, a reggae record, yeah, the biggest reggae label and distributor for the whole of reggae music around the world, based in London. They called me. They said, "Are you Apache Indian?" I says, "Yeah." "Is that song yours?" Yeah. "Can we have 2 more?" I said, no, I haven't got any more songs. It's just that one.
I just did that for me.
I did 2 more songs, and 3 of those songs went to #1 in the reggae charts, Asian charts, and that's where my journey began.
Just to ask you a question, and one of the really beautiful things that you just shared there, amongst all of that, Apache, it's just unbelievable. It's beautiful that you're talking in such beautiful rhythm as well, and so detailed, and you recall the times so well. So the thing that you said there is because a lot of the younger children, whichever language it is, whether we classify it as our mother tongue, meaning parents' language, but for example, children that I speak to quite a lot, actually, because obviously with my own background of helping individuals, growing them as well, and we'll talk about that in the second half of this interview, that they feel a bit of a hindrance of coming into the Indian Asian music market because of the fact that they don't have enough Punjabi, Hindi, Urdu, Bangladeshi, etc., whatever language they were, they can't enter that marketplace. It could well be they feel that they don't fit in, or they can't speak the language, they can't do it. But you just really, really inspired, I believe, a generation of music guys just by saying the one thing that you could hardly speak it. And actually, the lyric itself was teaching you how to speak Punjabi as well, and actually attached to the actual culture. So I want everybody who's listening today to go and download Movie Over India by Apache Indian. And I want you to listen to it and listen to each lyric. And I'm telling you, it really connected with myself personally at that time of my life. Now, there's only a few years between us, but it was light years ahead of its time because it was nothing like it. The creation, the recognition that you created. But I have to be open about this. And for me, Apache, I think you created the crossover fusion, the urban sound for the first time. Now, please correct me if you think I'm overstating it, but I believe that's you. And I believe you were the first person. You're an absolute bomb here in the UK, but you flooded over the market with Movie Over India, Arranged Marriage, Don Raja, Chuck There, and so many others, which were real mega hits. But what you did is, and we'll talk about it a bit, how it transferred over into the Asian India market, where you became literally godly-like, where if it didn't have Apache on it, wasn't going to work. But, you didn't expect it. You didn't try it. You just wanted to express yourself. But when Jetstar contacted you, what happened next? Did they then give you a record label early? Because obviously you said you didn't have any any other tracks apart from Movie Over India. Please explain.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, first of all. Yes, the music not only gave me identity, but later on it did create a new genre, which has now been recognized by the Queen, called the Asian urban sound. You have to understand, when Movie Over India was done in 1989, it was either hip-hop, reggae, Bhangra, Bollywood. There was no Asian urban sound. I'm sorry, if you can find me a record before that mixed anything like that, you won't find it. Anyway, this is a true story. I was working in a factory, when Movie Over India was #1. It was #1 everywhere. It's on the radio everywhere. The Jetstar called, and Jetstar said 2 more songs, and I had to think of 2 more songs, literally 2 more. But you gotta say, you know what I mean? And then I was working as a welder, and everyone would say, "Steve, your song's on the radio," and I'm under the shield, and I say, "Can you just be quiet? I'm trying to think of another song," right? And the Gala would go by and he'd say something Punjabi out of it, and he said, the Irish guy would go by and he would say something. And you know the word they said? In Movie Over India, in the intro, I said, "Oh, I'll go to India to make a movie and whatever." And I said, before it dropped, I said, "Oh, chak de fatte. Mise me gango make a movie man over." That's the last thing I said.
I remember now.
Yeah. So everybody used to walk past me. So, "Steve, your song's on the radio." They go to the call, everyone would say, "Chaka there, man. Chaka there's on the Chaka." And I thought, can you just leave me alone? I want to write this song. And I said, actually, hold on. Chuck there, then my bala in the city, Indian. Chuck there, Ragamuffin. First tune that me did, I said, they reached #1 in the reggae charts, man, and the Indian Chuck. Oh, yada, Hasana. It was just what was going on. Sometimes people, the answer is right in front of you. You don't have to look too far.
Wow.
The answer was right there. I went in the studio and I said, right, that's the song. #1 in the Bombay chart, and I tear them up. And it was literally, you know, just the expression of all that. It was the Panani rhythm, dum 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 dum. Again, me having fun, and it went to #1. He went to #1. I mean, that was one of the biggest. And I thought, actually, I might be good at this. But I never changed the formula. I always made it about my, you know, about what it represented. I'm having fun now. And even in that, you know, Yard Hasanajik, Bila, Galassi, I got people in Jamaica singing that. I got people in Africa singing that. They don't need to, you know, and then what does it mean? Remember, if songs are too Punjabi or too one way, other people switch off. You've caught lots of ears. So how is that balance? I didn't look at it so much then, but there were great songs. I have to say, humbly, I have to say, there were good songs. They did a lot of things for a lot of people around the world. They still play today. I didn't know that. In God's hands.
Yeah, they broke barriers, though. They broke barriers. They merged us and gave the Asians national identity.
If I said to you that I went out to do that, I'd be lying. If I told you I wanted to be an artist, I won't be telling the truth. I wanted to be a teacher of sport, a teacher of English. I like writing. So look at all those passions, writing, music, put it together. What do you have? Let's try. People, again, young people, run with your passions, your dreams when you're young. When else? Start with your hobby. Start with your passions, your dreams. And I put that together. My music was a passion. It was a hobby. Even though I was working in a factory still, I wasn't leaving work. I wanted to follow my dream until it became something. Anyway, the third song, when I got into the reggae world, everybody was a Don Dada, a Don Gargan, a Don.
I'll do something as well.
Don Raja. So
did you not mention Don Raja in your previous lyric?
You may be right.
I think you did, because I remember listening to it in Chakde.
You may be right.
And then it went into Don Raja. So now think about it. I mean, I didn't realize. I just realized the correlation now. From the very first movie over India, you mentioned Chakde. Then you moved in Chakde and you mentioned Don Raja. And from Don Raja, it went on to, you know, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I know. And Don Raja itself, you know, it's a kind of, you know, making a statement. In the beginning, people, you have to tell people who you are. You know, it's very initial impressions account. Who's this guy? Where's this coming from? Some people actually thought it was two people on the record. There was a black guy, there's an Asian guy, there's two in the corner, or there's a black guys learned the Indian. They couldn't work it out. You know why that was a great time? Because music had no color. There was no internet. You listen to the song, you like it. Now you're judging, oh, he doesn't look good to me, or she doesn't look pretty to me, or who is he? What is he? And I didn't let them judge me like that because they couldn't see me. You like the record or you don't. And afterwards you find out about the person. Now you find out everything about the person. You haven't heard the song yet. So let's get it right.
Now you try to know the person before anything else, but you were a mystery. I can remember it being an allure of wanting to, what's going on? This is new. This is like, it's blown the brain. And then you took taboo topics. Did you do that on purpose? Did you select socially challenging issues? And as you said, you were trying to find your own identity. Yeah.
Once I found my identity through those few songs, the Don Raj, I'm here and I'm getting some support. And we start after the three number ones, literally three number ones. I started going around the world. I got offered record deals from all the major record labels in London, London Records. I signed to Island Records at 23 when I was 23 years old for £250,000. Yeah.
Wow. For us, when we heard, please carry on, but in a moment, for us, when we heard that he's gone to Island Records, it was like, oh, wow, one of our artists, he's there, he's the big boy. I was distributing the stuff for the East Anglia area, so we knew. And do you know what my biggest problem was? Oh, no, how are we going to get his music now? We can't get in touch with Island Records. They're not going to give it to us. So how are we going to find it? I can remember, it wasn't bootlegging. We physically went to sorry, the name dropping here, but HMV in those days. And I bought boxes. I bought stock out of their shop so I could sell it in our own shops. We made no money on it the first time round.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's only when Island, going back to your question about the subjects, is that when Island Records signed me, I then could leave work after 6 years of working in the factory. I took it professionally. They sent me straight on the first flight to Jamaica, Bob Marley Studios, Kingston, Jamaica, Tough Gong Studios with the Marley family, his team. And they said, right, Sly and Robbie, the biggest producers in the world. They said, right, let's start writing this album. Alongside my cousins, Simon and Diamond, that did movie of India Chak De Don Raja. They came to Jamaica as well. And if I'm in Jamaica and if I'm in India and if I'm in England, I don't care. If I'm going to pick the things I'm going to write about, I will pick the things that I'm concerned about, I've heard about, I have views about, I'm bothered about, I want to celebrate about. You know, songs like Arranged Marriage, they were very cleverly written. You have to understand, you know, I also had a song about caste. You know, my background is Hindu, so I want to talk about that. High class, low class, we know want that. Everyone equal and God decide that. Just little simple things. And so it wasn't kind of commercial songs. Look at Arranged Marriage. Was it do you write Arranged Marriage? Think about the charts. Of course,
you think you're going to get a number one in a high top 10 with Arranged Marriage as a title? No,
not at all. So and then my parents are from Jalandhar, so me one girl sweet like from Jalandhar city. You know, all these little things are connotations from my life.
Carry on, I'm afraid. Carry on talking.
Mr. The time has come, man, for Apache to find one girl and to get married. But listen, ragamuffin, tell everybody me want me arrange marriage from me mama and daddy. Me one girl from Jalandhar city. Me one girl sweet like jalebi. Listen, but you know what? I took myself through an arranged marriage on the song. The Kramai is this and the Dolly is this and this and that. Bring the Laddu and the Berfi. But the last line of the song is what people have come back to me even 10 years later. So first, or for the musicians and all the artists out there, be clever with lyrics. And I made you dance to the song. I made you enjoy the song. But people still don't know what the song means. What's the last line of the song? Now I've got married. I have a problem. My problem is, when is the right time to tell me girlfriend? So that is a view about a culture from a British point of view. I might gone to school and had a boyfriend or a girlfriend because of the culture, but then I'm going to have arranged marriage. And these are the stories we were hearing, and these are the kind of things. So how do you say that line? But by celebrating the culture, by celebrating arranged marriage. So it was cleverly written. If people don't know, he went on to win an Ivor Novello Award from the British songwriters.
I was going to say just that to yourself, that to win an Ivor Novello, to win Best Contemporary and Ivor Novello Award, it's something special. Your lyrics, from my memory, people like Take That and was it
M People?
Heather
Small in the same category. Yeah, so. It's great to be up there. Look what we and you know the song went on to be #1 across Asia, number 16 in the British charts. I did Top of the Pops. I went on Blue Peter. I did Jules Holland. I mean, people, you know. So going back to not seeing brown faces on TV, now we're achieving things. Now people are calling me and saying they're inspired because they see that. So
I say you were inspiring ourselves in a generation. We felt very proud.
Yeah,
during that era, to see representation.
I was moving with what was God was telling me. I'm telling you, I'm no genius. I'm a simple guy. I just do my thing. I follow my passions and dreams, but I do go with my spirit and gut reaction. And you know, like you see, I'm outspoken. Nobody was doing those things then. I'm still doing the same things now, but I still enjoy music. It's not just about, you know, preaching, boom shakalaka, we're having a good time. So it's all my emotions. It's all my feelings. It's all my life, souls, prayers, everything with you. So make music. Just to finish, the music, I made a lane. I made our own lane, not only in music, but in life. Make your own lane in life, people. I wasn't following anybody. I was going with my heart. But look, it created a lane for then many people, a genre that many people, calls from all around the world saying that I'm growing up like you in Toronto or Vancouver or New York. And you make me.
I have to admit it. Sorry, I'm not cutting again, but there's so many things you've just covered, and I need to cover it for the audience again if I can, just to represent, reflect again. There was the other day I was just watching. I think an advert came on for Dumb and Dumber. And it's playing your music as the intro track. I don't know whether you can remember. Boom shakalaka. It comes on Dumb and Dumber. You know, this is such a long time ago. But then also, we're coming to the mid of our interview, and I'm going to continue with this in a mo. If you've just joined us, this is the Empower Hour, episode 73, with the one and the only Apache Indian, the man. You've really got to rewind and you've got to reverse back to the start. If you've just joined the YouTube live, scrub back to the start. Please, please, please listen to the power pack first session. The first interview I've had to say nothing. I'm just standing there in awe of myself. This guy's such an inspiration for us all. And thank you very much for that, Apache. So if you've just joined us, this is Apache. And you've really got to carry listening. So, Apache, I'm going to stimulate another conversation.
Yes, sir.
When we talk about you in circa when you've broken the UK charts and you've attended all this, you've created precedents, you've created the taboo style, the style of challenging the identity that we thought we had, because we never had, and I say we, because I'm in your generation, we never had the identity that our elders had. The generation before came to the country with their set identity. We were a new generation, a new identity. As you said, challenging costs, challenging relationships, challenging the girlfriend, boyfriend scenario, challenging the mixed language understanding, challenging how you looked and to speak patois with a heart, with understanding, challenging, can an British Asian cut into the mainstream market? You were the first to do that. Challenging language, lyrics, all these sort of things. And can you get a big contract? And getting £250,000 adjusted in the first 23 years of your life, it's just genius. Being humble enough to realize that you were a skilled welder, and it was your friends and people around you who turned around and inspired you for your second track. You know, Chuck there coming out of the way, and then you spoke about Don Raj and moving forward. One thing I want to just bring to everybody's attention, this has been a very personal interview. I really wanted to interview Apache for such a long time, because you helped carve that generation of attention and the generation of Asians. You challenged all these status quos. Today, when you look back at that life era, that time, what do you feel with what you're doing now? Because you've really changed lane. You've become something magical. You created a whole movement in India. Today, we've got people like Badshah and people like that standing on those grounds. But you were the giant who took that style over the water, should I say, into India. And Bollywood is worth big, big money, as in the rapping industries and whatever. But Apache Indian from the early noughties was the one who was quoted. He was the one who was on the tracks. Did you know it was going to be that big? And what do you feel about a whole genre, a complete movement?
It's a very, very good question, and it's a great interview. Thank you very much. I have to tell you that it's one of my best interviews, because I like it to be personal. My music was always personal. I'm a private guy, but anything that I had, I was sharing through music. I'm very, very passionate about the things that I believe in. And as I said, I celebrate life and diversity itself through music. I celebrate it anyway, but music was that thing that I could celebrate it with the world. How do I feel? I feel that I was enjoying my youth. I feel that the contribution for the community was major, right from being dropped off the nanny next door to all, like you said, even before I got to work, all the youth clubs, all the multicultural, all the things that we did have in this country, and some of them a lot of them have gone. The playing in the park. There was a lot of things. People talk about the bad things, especially from Handsworth riots and lots of things. But trust me, we worked hard. A lot of the generations before us, they were more multicultural than us. The divide came when we made it up, if you like. We didn't spend enough time with our neighbors and our people. Anyway, how do I look at it? I look at it that I wanted to be a teacher, and just to tell you now, I am a teacher in a college. I got employed by the same college, so you never give up on your dreams. But I realized that even though I was doing what I was doing, there was a bigger story here. Even though I didn't, and I realized that whatever I wanted to do, and I thought I was going to do, God had a different plan. God had a different plan. I've been on that journey. I didn't even take it so seriously until a few years later, and I heard all the stories from people and what it really did. It wasn't just small things. It was big things, like people that may be in mixed marriages. And they said, they never liked my husband, but because of your music, they like, things like that. And really, places where Asians may have lived in Canada or Vancouver, would have gone to see, the Dumb and Dumber and with their white friends, and said, Indian, and it makes them feel a part, that they can be a part of that culture, that community. So he did so much. I started taking it more important. I started realizing that God has put me on this journey, and I'm going to do the right thing and say the right thing. And he's taken me around the world 8 times. It's not about the song that you sing, it's what you say in between. What do you represent as an artist, people? What do you represent as a human being? And you see a lot of people get famous, and when they speak, they're not humble, they're not giving back, they're not connecting with people. So I'm never going to lose that, because that's where I came from. If I'm sharing my life with you, and I'm concerned about your life, and that's what I went to do later on, helping younger people with their lives because of my journey. I wanted them to celebrate diversity, because now communities are even more diverse than they were then. And if you don't do that to find ways to bring it together, it's tension, problems, racism, and all the other things that you hear about. So I started looking at it even more important. Even the Jamaican nanny, I ignored that for 20 years. Oh yeah, I like reggae, and you know, went to Bob Marley died on my birthday when I was 14 years old, May the 11th. All these little things, I was trying to make sense of it. But really, let's trace it right back and let's put all our pieces into place. When I was 23 and 24, I didn't know I was going to be Apache Indian at 34 and 44. So all you young people, you may know what you know now, but do you know where you're going to be when you're 44? So you make sure you make every day count. You know, you don't know where you're going to be living. Are you going to have children? Are you going to have family? Are you going to, you know, you don't know. So make every day count. Your people, your parents are important. Your people around you are important. You're important. We have to look at our own culture. And you know what, as I said, music brought me healing. It brought other people healing. So look how great music is. And music is not, doesn't have that importance. In the last year, the government didn't give us any importance. It helps with conditions like autism and many, many different things, mental health, lots of things. So we don't give, it helped with my mental health. I go, if you listen to every one of my songs, there's anger, there's happiness, there's sadness. And it was a reflection of what I was going through at that time. Yeah. So when I listen, when my son now plays a song, who wasn't even born then, he's 24, and he listens and he plays this song, he goes, Dad, what made you write? And I would tell him why and what it meant and what I was going through. And then it helps him. Because look what Dad said. Look at that lyric. Oh, really? Because I will give you a story in that. I won't just sing a song, and I would tell you there's some meaning in every song. You may not get it straight away, but it's there. Underlined, right from every album name, there's a meaning. No reservations, make way for the Indians, solve the movement, time for change. There's a meaning in the title. Don't miss it. Don't miss the common thread after 30 years. But yeah, every day productive, every day be your best, do your best. You don't have to be the best. Just do your best. If you've wasted a day and not done anything, then what is it? Yeah, have a day where you're relaxing, but make sure if every day you do something, you will have a great week. Trust me. Do something for yourself and go and do something for somebody else. Trust me.
Beautiful mission. And one of the key things that you said there was actually your son. You were just living your life and reflecting yourself in your language. The fact that you obviously loved English and loved writing and that reflects, it's paramount. It shows clearly. And what really, really struck out to me in that last explanation there, Apache, was the fact that your son actually uses your music to index himself, to actually reflect and actually use it as you could say as a coaching session. You can take it from A to B and run it through and say, that's what went on. So that's right. How I feel. I get it. That's beautiful. So I'm going to ask you a simple thing. And I was tracking you way back, and in life, we could also say there's a definitive moment in life when something changes in their world. From when I started tracking you again, mid 2010s, 2013, 14, 15. And I realized that Apache Indian had not just stuck on his laurels and sat down and enjoyed the fame and done nothing about it, that you had created an academy. And the academy was supporting people, as you said, music cuts through autism, cuts through depressions, cuts through lack of belonging, all of the things that you're thinking about. That academy is based in Birmingham. It started off on the humble beginnings of Moseley Road, but with your brand behind it. I know that. And then you evolved it, and it's now through this pandemic, you're supporting people online. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what the mission vision behind the academy was, the kind of stories you've got, maybe one or two of them, what you've actually achieved with the academy, and what it means to you personally and your students, please.
Okay, so thank you very much. Again, a beautiful question. So throughout my life, after 30 years, 8 years ago, I said, in fact, throughout my whole career, now you know a little bit about me. I questioned one thing. So I questioned, what was it for? I mean, fame? It wasn't really on my agenda. Touring the world, basse, money? It wasn't really, yeah, great, thank you. I have to give thanks. But what was it for? There was a piece missing, and I didn't know what that was. I really questioned myself, and it bothered me for many years. And it was, the answer came. The answer came 8 years ago from God Almighty. And he said, you know what? You have a name. Look at the things that you've done, connect the dots, and you tell me, what do you want to do? Go back and help people. Go back and use your name to help people. I thought, wow, because you know what? It's not about just being famous and going to help people. Look what I've been singing about. Look at the things I've been singing about, from knife crime to gun crime to gang culture to all the subjects that you mentioned. So here's a person that is very passionate about those things, that want to sing about them. So somewhere down the line, he's going to want to go and do something about it. He's going to want to go on the front line. Otherwise, we're just a bag of songs. And all those people that talk about movement and songs, and I want to do this, go and do something, right?
Wow.
Go and do something. So after a while, I did that. I took one day out of my week, which was a Wednesday, because I could fly out on a Thursday, go to India and do a show, and still come back for Wednesday, rearrange my life. My agents were pulling their hair out. The manager said, I'm not losing money, but putting more money back into my traveling and my schedule just to get back for Wednesday. 8 years, 8 years I did that. And the model of not just helping the young person, the model of using of that youth club, of what we've got in the community. Don't think about what we haven't got. Don't think about the cuts. Think about what we can do with what we've got. Right. So I went to the college. I walked into a college on Soho Road, if you know it, Handsworth, the same college that I used to walk past when I was a kid. I walked in there and said, you know who I am? I have some ideas. I need an empty room. Cut a long story short, they gave me an empty room at Handsworth campus, Southern City College, where I was born. Wow. And I took my own studio in there. I took a pool table in there, and I opened it up, Apache Indian, free. I don't want anything. You can walk in from the college or the streets and come and see me.
God, free?
Free, right?
So
free.
It was literally just to give back to support society.
Yeah, and the model was use what we've got. So we pay for colleges already, right? Every place has a college. I'm giving you a model that can work in Peterborough. I'm coming to Peterborough to set up academy. You know why? Because it's the model. The model is we've got colleges and schools in every country, right? Every city. We pay for them, taxpayers' money. What happens to that college or that school after 6 o'clock? It's empty.
Yeah.
So I said to the college, you give me a space. In fact, I didn't do it after 6. I did it every Wednesday from 12 to 9. Kids came in.
Hang on.
9, every single Wednesday.
9 hours.
9 hours every Wednesday, and obviously a lot of hours throughout the week, flying back from different countries. And then I also thought that because I am who I am, I can obviously promote it around the world, which I'm doing now. And you know, I could bring things to it because I thought, wow. So it ticks all my boxes, my passions. I could still keep singing. I'm still Apache Indian, but you know what? This matters to me. And I was a young father at 18. So every child that walked in, I looked at it was my own child. How I want this kid to win. I want to empower them. I want to give them something, and I want to learn from them. Wow. Very, very important. Very important humble. People. A lot of people have problems with their parents or the parents with the kids because they don't meet each other halfway. Parents will say, you're doing that, you're doing that. Okay, my parents came from Punjab, and I went out on the streets, school, black people, white people. My parents have never done that. So while I'm learning from them, they have to learn from me. I love my parents. I came back and said, Dad, you know what? This happened at school. He's never been to school in this country. So we educate each other. And this is what the academy was about. I'll educate you, worldly knowledge, community knowledge. I empower you and tell you what we used to have. And my team, after 8 years, we've had thousands of kids come through the front door. Wow. We've never refused anybody. And we've helped kids get back into education. I'm in a college, apprenticeships, wrote that little reference for them. You know, back in the day where you would just call your friend and say, give the girl a chance. I know she can do that. Just give her a chance to serve in the shop. And we used to do that. We don't do that anymore. I did all that. Now we've got many people into jobs with the care assistants. There's a young girl called Zoe, a white girl who got kicked out the same college, little bag, whatever. She joined the academy. She became the team leader of the academy. 7 years later, they've just employed her. They've employed her back at the college.
Hang on. She left the college or got removed from the college. She worked with yourselves, and 7 years later, she's actually in the college, helping the college.
No, she got employed by the college.
Employed by the college. Wow.
Employed by them kind of stories, and I can give you 100 stories like that. But I can tell you, and because I've got 20 or 30 years of contacts from Bollywood to Hollywood, we've had 4 people signed to international record companies.
Oh my goodness.
So look, we're changing people's lives.
What genre are you supporting through the music?
Every genre. Any person that comes to the front door, all I need to know is what you want to do, whether you just want to join a group of people, whether you just want to laugh and joke, whether you just want to sit and watch, whether you want to learn a guitar, and you just come yourself. There's no money. I don't even lean on any funding. This is the model. Use what we've got, no funding, so we have sustainability. And you know what I do with my name? I go to the shop and say, you know what, can you help me? You know me, I'll sing at your daughter's wedding. Somebody gave me 3,000 bottles of water every year. KGN Water from London. Thank you very much, guys. East End Foods. I send them a shopping list. East End Foods. They send us food for the kids. We help three charities. Three charities. This is a policy. My son is diabetic, so I'm ambassador for Diabetes UK. So pick one national charity and pick two local charities. One of them is homeless, St. Basil's, for young people who deal with homelessness, and the other one is Include Me Too, young people with disabilities. So we represent three charities. We raise money for those people. We empower the young people, and then we go and help the police. We help the wider community. We have our own Diwali festival on Soho Road every year, which again, it just carries on. It doesn't. I mean, help the young person, help the community, helps the family, helps the culture, gives them confidence, and it shows in all aspects of their life, not just music.
This is 100 miles an hour. I'm telling you.
Sorry.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't ever stop. This is just wonderful to hear that somebody who's taken their own celebrity status and hasn't just used it for themselves, but actually has completely become in service of community. So my question to yourself, Apache, how can, because I am totally inspired by what you're trying to say. I have always been looking for a person that I could help and assist in this arena. I tracked you down in 2015. We are here now. Always the right time. No regret. My question to yourself is, how can somebody get involved and how can they actually help you? Or two elements I want to talk about is A, how can they help you within this journey? And B, if we have somebody who wants to be helped and wants to be involved in some way and wants to take lessons or something, this is online now as well. How can they connect and contact you?
Beautiful. Again, great question. Thank you very much. It's very, very important because it's all about everyone else. And we're just the people in between. So connect the dots, people. Come and find me. So AIM Academy is online. AIM. M turns into music. Apache Indian Music Academy. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. We have our own website. It's official. It's officially run from Southern City College here. But I don't know whether you know. I've just set up last year. We set it up in Holland.
No, I don't know.
We have Apache Indian Founder Academy in Den Haag.
AIMacademy.com.
.nl.
.nl over there, but in the UK?
In the UK.co.uk. Here, look on Instagram at AIM. M turns into Music Academy. Yeah.
So AI Music.
Yeah, AI Music Academy. Send me a message. All you have to do is send a message. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. But, come with your respect, come with your manners, and come with something that you've put into it. Like, I want to be a singer. I've been singing for 2 years, but I've taken it this far. I want to learn this. I can just sing something or get someone to give you a voice note, and now you have to practice that. It's just very, very simple. It doesn't cost money, but come with something. If you want to play tabla, I've been playing for 2 years now or 3 years. And, if you haven't got tabla, put all your pocket money together and go and find, whatever it is. If you got passion, come, get in touch with it. If you're in Birmingham, walk through the door, come and get in touch with the Southern City College. Obviously the colleges are closed at the moment. A lot of things are online. If you want to get in touch with me, Apache Indian HQ, trust me, I never ignore anyone. It could be a message that you don't have to read. I read messages. People are saying thank you. People are saying, can I? And you know what? Academy or not, that's the reputation I have, and people have always reached out, and I've always tried to help if I can help. And I believe that we can help each other. If I can't help you, there's someone here in my team that can help you. Trust me.
And is everybody volunteering?
Pardon?
Everybody's volunteering?
Everyone's volunteering. No one gets paid. Nobody wants to get paid. It's all for the young people. Our payment is your success. Our payment is your smile. Trust me. And I want to see every person in the community come together and look, we've done it. And, I've had, last year I did London Medlar. We had 20,000 people with Jay Sean. I did Croydon. What I did? I took my young people with me. I took them all with me. I said, right, 20 of you get in the bus, let's go. And they've never left Birmingham, most of them. So social skills, being backstage, go on stage, raise confidence, go and meet other people, celebrate your country that you're in. And the world opens up with your manners and respect. When people see you, they don't know how qualified you are or whatever. They judge you by your manners and respect, what comes out your mouth. So when I go around the world, it isn't a talent that takes you around the world. It's my manners and respect. Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. Different languages, different cultures. Go and find out. And trust me, you have your manners and respect. It will take you far. It will take you far. I'm a believer in opening the door for people, standing up. The word seva. The word seva comes from. We know that word seva. Serve. Let's start with serving yourself.
Yeah.
Look after yourself. Look after number one first, and when you've got that, and you know it, and you can go and help other people. You know, look at you. You know, when somebody walks through my door, what am I judging? Whether they can sing, whether they can kick a ball, whether they look good. What am I judging? Mental health. Mental health. Have you eaten? Have you slept? What's happened at home? Did you have breakfast? So don't be quick to judge people just because they're like this and like that. Be sensitive. There's a million things you don't know yet. Give people time. And I don't get into people's business. I don't want to know your business. But you know what? When you have a child, your own child, you don't have to speak to them to know if they're unhappy or not. So when someone comes through my door, I tell you, I know. And I know maybe they just want to be left alone. Maybe they just want to just be in a warm place. So we have people coming through the door from homeless, and we give them clothes. You know, we give them a plate of food, a cup of tea. Sometimes it's just that small thing, that caring, that then gives them just some importance in life. So, you know, I don't know whether anyone saw, there was a great piece on the BBC One show in the lockdown in August, a special feature. They want to do about Apache Indian. Look at that. Listen to this. They wanted to do a special 30-year Apache Indian, boom shakalak, and can we come and see you? I said, fine. Their idea was come to my house where I used to live, where I wrote the song, the story about the song. I says, yeah. Amazing. Why didn't you come and listen to my idea? Come to the college, come to the academy, film the kids. I'll get 2 kids in my band, and they'll perform with me. I'll get a rapper on, and I'm going to share this platform where come to my community, come to my college. And that's what they did. It's a great 5-minute piece. Everyone, you know, so share the platform.
We can Google that on YouTube, right?
YouTube, Apache Indian BBC One show, and you see, and it talks about, you know, the nanny I grew up. It just kind of summed up my life right up to now in 5 minutes. It's a great piece, but you know what? The young people that were on the national TV, they feel proud.
They feel proud. They can go around and say it.
Right.
So, Apache, I want to sit there and talk to you for another 2 hours. It's magical, the conversation you're having. And I want to commend you. And obviously you've been commended by the highest order in the UK anyway. You know, the Queen has just recently, late last year, given you the BEM award. I am taken back heart-centeredly with the fact that you don't charge. You lead with saying manners and respect. If you can hold those 2 things, I've got time for you. The way that you've actually articulated this support system, and I'm not joking, I'm going to applaud every one of the Inspired Tribe and Salam Radio people who are listening to us, any people who follow myself, Sukhi Wahiwala. Get involved, search, join, follow, get involved with what Apache is up to. This is just tremendous for me. For my heart-centered environment, it's a very brilliant thing. I'm so blown away by the fact that you're organizing 3. This is a charitable organization as well, and the fact that your enthusiasm is infectious, Apache. It switches you on when you listen to. You command, without even saying you're Apache Indian, you're commanding attention. You're commanding the flow that you're rhythming with. You know, I really want to thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Before we say goodbye to you, I want to say something really important. You know, we have a legacy environment, and I know this is a very deep scenario for yourself. And you know, we haven't practiced, but we put people on the spot a little bit. I do apologize, but I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
So we call it the epitaph moment. It's something that's very synonymously connected to the Empower Hour. You are the embodiment of empowerment of the Empower Hour show. We're blessed to have been running for 2.5 years now with Salam Radio and myself as well, on the 73rd episode, with great people like yourself. What I want to ask you as a question is that if I asked you and said to you, on your epitaph, it says, here lies Apache Indian. And we're not asking this of the world, but we have to face death as well, right? Here lies Apache Indian, the man who, would you please kindly finish that for me and complete the sentence?
Wow. I've never been asked that question before. Here lies Apache Indian, the man who ignited my life through music.
I love it.
But you know what? I am going to say that
life.
I've already decided that when my life is over, I won't be lying there. I'm going to give my body to medicine. So continue to help people after I'm not here. Trust me.
And your body is one thing, but your body of work is
Body
also
of work. The
you
body
have
of work,
left
yes.
as well, body left as well. And
Absolutely.
so just to reiterate that whole situation of saying, here lies Apache Indian, the man who ignited freedom in my life through music.
Freedom.
Because I know you
That's
had
the
a
right
track
word.
which is called Freedom.
Ignited
You know
freedom.
it.
Yeah,
I just
that's
knew
the
that
right
from the
word.
lyrics. Everything you
I
were
like
talking about is about freedom. Is igniting freedom in my life through music. Unbelievable. I
like that, because you know what, music made me free. It gave me freedom. I'm enjoying life through music. I want everyone to be free through music. I want everyone to just not through music. I want to be free. You have a life. You have a life. You are important. Everyone listening to this is important. I don't care who you are, how old you are. You're important. Be your best, do your best, and go and encourage people. Go and ask somebody else, how are you doing? How's your hobby? And someone asks you, well, how are you doing? People don't do that really. I want people to encourage each other. The world changed. You have to change. Trust me, life is unpredictable. The world is, you know what? There's nothing wrong with the world. It's people. It's people. It's not now. It's not the color of your skin. It's not about religion. It's about good and bad. You can have your own people that are good and your own people that are bad. Bad people have a place to go to, the gangs and the prisons. And where do good people go? Yeah. So that's what AIM Academy is. All good people meet and greet at AIM Academy Street, right here with Sukhi. Trust me, I'm going to come back with you. We've got so much to talk about, so much to do.
I'm going to have you on for 2 hours. I'm telling you, you're a genius.
I'm inspired by you. Yeah. I'm inspired by you, and together we will inspire many, many more people. As I said, I have so much more to do. Thank you to the Queen herself for recognizing the genre, for recognizing the youth work, for inspiring me to do more. And she made me feel important. I know sometimes I didn't feel important. Sometimes I felt, why am I doing this? And look what people are saying. Look, the Queen just gave a stamp of approval, not just to me, but to the Academy. So the Academy is not me. The Academy is the young people. So that award goes back to Handsworth. It goes back to the youth. Every single person, every single child is important to me. I've written songs about it. You guys are important. Get in touch, and I promise you I will not ignore you. There's more to do. The world changed. We have to change. And trust me, we are such a rich culture. We are good people. Come together and that's unity is strength. I give you so much things. Unity is strength. Don't look at these words. They're just words. They mean something. Unity, strength. Let's put community back into community. Let's celebrate diversity, and let's get rid of all the things that keep us apart. All the things in your head. It starts here. If it's wrong here, it's going to be wrong out there. It's going to come out wrong here. Make it right there. And you know what? If you hear something wrong, if you're in an environment where this even your own family member says something wrong or racist or whatever, correct them. From the moment you don't correct somebody, you're to blame too. If you watch a crime happening and don't tell the police, you get a prison sentence. I know there's been a lot of situations in many, many organizations where people keep stum. I've never kept stum. I've just shared it, and I'll take it. I don't write it down. I think we need new ideas for this country, even politics. You know what? I would love to hear a politician speak without a speech written by somebody else. Tell me from your, when we go on stage, we can't take papers. We have to say it from our heart. I challenge every politician. I challenge every big artist to go and work with someone who has no name.
Apache, I have to
say,
I
carry on. Freedom through music.
You're an absolute inspiration. Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to say to you on a personal level, I can't believe how the hours disappeared so fast, so quickly.
Wow.
You have been an inspiration, not only to my audience and everything, but to me personally. It's been wonderful sharing. Thank you for allowing us to share this side of Apache Indian, which no one knows about.
No,
thank you. I'm so glad and proud to bring it to our community, the Inspired Tribe and the Salam Radio Tribe. Everybody here who involves themselves and listens to anything that Sukhi Wahiwala gets on with, I'm so proud to bring this story to them and this interview to them. And it's been truly humbling. I want to ask you just personally, and I want to thank you for being on the show, being our guest for the first one for 2021, setting up the new year at level bar 150 million, right up there. You're full of octane. You have left me bouncing, and I hope everybody else is the same thing. On behalf of Salam Radio, Inspired Tribe, myself, Sukhi Wahiwala, and all of our listeners tonight, I want to thank you from our heart for being a true inspiration and being recognized for who you are.
Thank you very much. I mean, I've loved this interview. It's inspired me too. I think that it's probably one of the best interviews I've had for many years, not even of this campaign. As I said, Salam, Radio. We love you. Thank you for listening. And if you're inspired, go and inspire somebody else. Life is about being inspired and being inspiring. Let's do that. God bless you. We love you. Thank you. We'll see you again.
Thank you. And you know what? Yeah, without a doubt, I'm going to have you back, and you better not say no. So
Definitely.
thank you very much to the audience for listening and tuning in today. I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed being a participant in this actual interview with the one and only Apache Indian, the man who recreated the genre, gave British Asians an identity, and has been recognized recently, as you all know. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Empower Hour show every Tuesday. This was episode 73 with Apache Indian. See you next week in the next episode.